Hi everyone, this is Action Kid. I'm here with my friend, the amazing Sarah Funky.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yep, it's September 15th at 1:30 p.m. 80 degrees out, that's 27 degrees Celsius. And today we'll be taking you on a walk of DUMBO. Sarah's going to be narrating, so let's start this walk.
Awesome.
Why not?
I'm ready for it. This is my favorite area so far. Well, it's kind of my current obsession. I'm just loving it. As you can see, very beautiful, but there's a lot of great spots here as well. That's the thing about DUMBO. It's not just pretty, we got a lot going on. I have a YouTube channel all about things to do in New York, from places to eat, places to stay, cool things to do. I also do itineraries, which a lot of people are loving, and worst tourist traps. People love to know tourist traps because you don't want to get stuck in them, so I'm going to help you out with not getting stuck in them. So my YouTube channel will be linked below, but today let's just do DUMBO. DUMBO is my current obsession, like I said before, and I offer a few tours here because it's just so cool. So I am a licensed tour guide, by the way, so I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the history and the food and all this. We're going to start right here. This is Pebble Beach, and Pebble Beach is really just known for photos. I mean, as you can see, how iconic is this? And one of the best things to do, you can kind of see far in the distance, there's a guy on a jet ski. You can actually jet ski on the water over here, which is super adventurous. So if you're an adventurous person, see the city does some jet ski tours, and I think that's my friend actually out there. So cool. All right, let's continue. Now when you're walking on Pebble Beach, just be careful because it's like very rocky, hence Pebble Beach. You can see that here. And people sometimes trip and fall. So don't let that happen to you. Okay, let's continue.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hey, we're from Texas, so we were watching your video.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's
I
so
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Wait, is that her?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we're here because of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is our last name.
These guys watch my channel.
Hi,
Yay, Houston. Yeah, well, make sure you take the photos. We're filming a walking tour on Action Kid's channel right now, so you'll be in it. So, I hope you're cool with that.
Yeah, we are.
All right, bye, thank you. All right, let us continue this direction. Okay. One of the things I want to point out right here is if you're looking for that iconic Photoshop, this is a good spot. I also have a whole video on the best Instagram spots, and many of them are in DUMBO. One is here, but you really just can't go wrong with this area. So DUMBO stands for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass, and that's literally because it's under the Manhattan Bridge. It's nestled between the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge, and one of the ways that you can remember the order of the bridge is I always like to say BMW. BMW, Brooklyn Bridge is first, Manhattan Bridge is second, Williamsburg Bridge is third. So just keep that in mind when you're here. Now we're passing, this is the location of the Time Out Market. It has West Elm, it has like different restaurants and things like that. This was originally a factory building, and they stored all different types of things here, like sugar and coffee, steel wool and things like that back in the 1800s. This whole area was industrial, and many of the people that worked here actually lived over on the other side in the 5 Points, which was a very dangerous area. It was actually the most dangerous area in the world back in the 1800s. I mean, there was more murders daily there than anywhere else. They actually have a whole movie about it called Gangs of New York, so check that out because it's just such a history of New York. It's important to know the history of wherever you go before you come, and that movie will show you a lot. So let's go in this way. I'm going to show you a few of my favorite spots here. The Time Out Market just moved in a few months ago actually, and Time Out magazine is a really popular magazine here in New York to learn about things to do, events, restaurants, all different types of stuff like that. Right now it's very crowded today, as you can see. This is because it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon and the temperature is comfortable. It's not humid anymore, thank goodness. So everyone's here. Also, take a look at that view of the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge was completed in 1883, and it's really an icon of New York, but you can see several icons of New York from Dumbo, one of which is the One World Observatory right there, aka the Freedom Tower, aka One World Trade. Call it what you want to call it. The bottom line is that is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. It is 1,776 feet tall to represent the year the Declaration of Independence was signed. All right, let's go in this way. This way is my favorite, the Timeout Market. There's several Timeout Markets around the world. They have one in Lisbon, they have one in Chicago, I believe. They just opened this one in New York. Let's go see some of my favorite foodie spots. They have, I believe it's 21, could be, that number could be slightly off, don't quote me on that. But the point is, they have the best restaurants in the city under one roof. So what Timeout Magazine did was they said they always review restaurants, so they chose specific restaurants that they wanted to feature in here that they really love. So this is one of the good ones. Okay. This one's called Clinton Street Baking Co. I don't know if we can see any. Oh, she has a delicious looking waffle right there. I don't know if you can see that. But let me tell you what, this spot is known for their pancakes. Mind-blowing. Like, oh my goodness. The blueberry one, get it. If you don't want to wait in a 2-hour line, come to this location because their original location on Clinton Street in the Lower East Side always has a 2-hour wait for brunch. Unless you go during a weekday. So if you do want to go on a weekend, then you have to come here. All right, let us continue this way. Oh, and here you go. Here's an example. Can you see this? Oh, I'm sorry. Tripping people over here. Trying to get a good lighting. Here we go. Look at this. So this is the Timeout New York magazine. These are free here. They're free everywhere, actually, but they tell you all different things to do, eat, see, and much, much more in the city. They even have fashion tips and stuff like that. This is like New Yorkers' Bible, you could say. I'm keeping this. Lily, can you hold it? This is my husband, Louis. He's holding all my stuff while I talk. Thank you, Louis. Okay, let us continue. This is another one of my obsessions here at the Timeout Market. This place is called Dough, and they serve edible cookie dough. So you may be thinking, hey Sarah, all cookie dough is edible. Yeah, it's true, except like you really shouldn't have it with raw eggs. So they made, yeah, she's excited because I literally was here like 2 days ago and probably before that, like 2 days before that as well. I recommend their brioche dough, which is a combination between brownie and cookie dough, or their signature chocolate chip is really good as well. But they have all different flavors, so grab a scoop and enjoy. Delish. All right, we're gonna head out this way now. Let's turn around. Yeah, turn left right here.
Od bar.
Okay. All right, this is the St. Anne Theater. This was a warehouse, but now it has all different types of theatrical shows and also musical shows. So check their website. for the most up-to-date shows. They have a really great list, and they also have a very, very delicious restaurant nearby called Atrium. So, we're about to get back to the Brooklyn Bridge, so let me tell you a little bit about the Brooklyn Bridge because it has a very interesting history. So the Brooklyn Bridge was started to be built in the 1850s by a guy named John Roebling. He was a very famous architect. And one of the most interesting things about the Brooklyn Bridge, in my opinion, is the family curse associated with it. There is a family curse associated with it. It's the Roebling family curse, but don't worry, you're not going to get cursed walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. I know you may be concerned. Don't be concerned. John Roebling, famous architect, he helps build the bridge, and right in the process of beginning to build the bridge, which would be the largest suspension bridge of all time, he cut his foot and got tetanus and then died 3 days later without a single stone being laid on the bridge. His son took over, Washington Roebling, and he was building, if you look at the bridge from a different angle, you'll notice that this big section here, there's another section that has to go straight into the water and has to be mounted to bedrock. And so in order to do that, they had to take something called a caisson, which is like a water elevator, and they have to go all the way into the water, into like literally to the bottom of the riverbed, and dig till they hit bedrock. Now, they're doing this without electricity. So what happens inside this caisson, you have all these men. You have Washington Roebling, which is John Roebling's son. A fire breaks out because they're working over candlelight. And Washington Roebling tries to evacuate all of his men and shoots the caisson out of the water. But what he didn't know about was something called caisson's disease. And what happens with caisson's disease is if you go too fast out of the water, it's something that divers get. It's nitrogen in your blood. Then you get blind, paralyzed, and deaf. And so now Washington Roebling is blind, paralyzed, and deaf. His dad is dead. The bridge still isn't built. So who takes over? Who always finishes projects? You tell me. It is a woman. That's right, a woman completed the Brooklyn Bridge. Her name is Emily Roebling. It was Washington Roebling's wife. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's standing today. Now, an interesting little factoid about the Brooklyn Bridge is once it did get opened in 1883, everyone loved it. It was the longest suspension bridge of all time. And so people were crossing, everything was great because they could finally get to this side, which was all industrial factories, and they could work. And a rumor broke out that the bridge was gonna collapse. People freaked out naturally, and 13 people were trampled to death. And so people, again, did not want to cross this bridge. It was cursed in their mind. And so Emily Roebling saw that the circus was in town. So she had the circus walk elephants over the bridge to prove to people that it was safe. And ever since then, people have been crossing the bridge. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's continue this way. This is like a little, I guess you could call it like a courtyard. There's really not much to say about this place. It's just really pretty. Take a look, take it in.
Things are getting better. Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, where are you living?
Right now there's an event called Photoville happening. This is not normal. Probably by the time this video is posted, it will not be here, but I can't guarantee anything. Photoville is just a bunch of local artists and also international artists that are photographers, and you can see all these incredible pieces of art throughout the festival. Also, this is a great spot for photos. As you can see, this man's getting a great shot right over here. The Brooklyn Bridge is now above us.
It's a big bloody bridge.
All right. So the Brooklyn Bridge is directly above us, and you can kind of see people's feet walking over you, which is kind of cool. It's very crowded crossing the Brooklyn Bridge midday. If you want to not be bothered by crowds, then you should go before 8 a.m. I'm not a morning person, so you'll never see me there before 8 a.m. But you know, if you're up for it, go for it. Now we're about to enter a place that I call a majestic fairyland restaurant. You'll see why.
Acho que posso ficar aqui, eu espero vocês aqui na porta.
All right, here we are, the River Cafe. Take a look at this entranceway. You're not going to see any other restaurant in New York like this. This is New York's only floating restaurant. Technically, you could say there's boats that also serve dinner, which is true, but this is on a barge, and it's floating right underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. And it has this beautiful environment. As you can see, this restaurant is Michelin starred. They serve a great brunch. They also are known for hosting a lot of like fancy weddings and things like that because it is such a gorgeous atmosphere. We're gonna cross into these people's party real quick. Sorry.
Dude.
Okay, so as you can see, the cars out front suggest the prices. So if you're not on a budget, this might be a good option. We can't go inside. You can kind of take a peek. It looks like they're setting up for an event right now, but you can kind of take a peek inside. I'm also going to show you a view from a different angle. Yeah, got a Mercedes-Benz right behind you. Just a little idea of the glories. We're leaving, it's okay. So if we go around this corner, you'll see how this really is a barge. Also, this is the only beach with sand. Look at that. Actual sand. You can't get in here unless you jump over the fence. So that's illegal. Just saying, but you know, if you're feeling up for it, I mean, do it, give it a shot. That's all you. That's not my responsibility at this point. So right here we have Ample Hills. This is a very famous place for ice cream. It's really creamy, kind of more traditional style ice cream. Great spot for today because, you know, it's hot out. Then let's go over here. The thing about Dumbo is it's so photogenic, so you see a lot of weddings happening here. Here in front of us we have a wedding photo shoot going on. And right here you can actually see the River Cafe and the barge that it's on, just to get a better idea of like the structure of the restaurant. Look at that, so pretty with those pink flowers. You have outdoor seating. This is also another very good Instagram photo spot, or just wedding photo spot. I mean, look at that, so cute. Can't get more romantic than that, can it? And you see the jet skis going behind them. Definitely worth doing if you're an adventurous type person. Now come over this direction. Right here, this is the NYC ferry boats. $2.75 to ride them. If you're going directly across the water to somewhere on the water, it's very convenient, it's fast. Just to get to the financial district, it's about a 2-minute ride, which is very convenient. Here we have something called Barge Music. Barge Music does live music on Fridays and Saturdays. It's all classical, right on this barge. And what better environment than that? I mean, you're sitting on this beautiful, it's inside. I mean, from the outside it looks super sketch, but trust me, it's fine. The only thing I don't like about barge music is they don't allow drinks in there. I mean, if I'm gonna sit and watch live music, I want at least a cocktail in hand, you know what I mean? speaking of cocktails in hand, if you go look up that direction, you can see Harriet's Rooftop. Harriet's Rooftop is one of the most beautiful rooftop bars in this. It's the most beautiful rooftop bar in this area, in my opinion. But their drinks aren't that great. I mean, they're okay. If you want to go to a good rooftop bar, I like the Skylark or Westlight. Let's go this way. Lizzmondae, this is kind of cute. It's a lemonade stand and you can customize your lemonade by, it's like a step-by-step process. So you choose a base, then you choose an add-in, then you choose like a sweetness level. So you can do like lemon, lime, iced tea, and then you can add strawberry, blackberry, cucumber, watermelon, pineapple, mango, cantaloupe, all different flavors. So it's kind of cool and different than just a traditional lemonade stand. Let's go this way now. So up this direction is Brooklyn Heights. We're not going to go there today, but Brooklyn Heights is called Brooklyn Heights because, what do you think? It's the highest point of Brooklyn. That's why it's called Brooklyn Heights, obviously. That place has a lot of beautiful brownstones. It used to be where all of the very wealthy families would have their summer homes back in the 1800s. So it's a great place to stroll today. They have a promenade you can walk along. And it's right next to Dumbo, so if you're coming to Dumbo, you know you might as well. All right, now we're gonna pass by some good restaurants. All right, so one of the things about New Yorkers is you may notice we're crossing the street right now, but it says don't cross the street. I don't recommend this, but all I'm saying is New Yorkers cross the street when we think we're not gonna be hit by a car. Not when the walking guy says walk, but you should always be safe. This is Shake Shack, very famous. Louis, Shake Shack was started by Daniel Meyer, right? I'm pretty sure it was him. He's gonna Google it while I continue talking about Shake Shack. Shake Shack is like a luxury McDonald's. Some people might be offended that I say that, but it's really good burgers, obviously very good shakes. A famous restaurateur started it, and he runs oh, see, I was right, Daniel Meyer, boom. He started Gramercy Tavern, I believe, as well, and some really famous like Michelin star restaurants. So this was his like more budget-friendly option. Here we have something very unique called Starbucks. I'm sorry, like I love Starbucks. People are gonna hate on me for saying that, but their chai tea latte, it can just never go wrong, you know? It's so good. All right, now we're gonna pass two famous pizza places. We have Grimaldi's right over here, and we have Juliana's right here. Now, Juliana's was founded by Patsy Grimaldi, who obviously also founded Grimaldi's. This was the original location for Grimaldi's, and then Grimaldi's moved over here. So if you want to actually get like the real deal, come here, not here. And also the line is terrible all the time. You just have to get here early. Like literally when they open. This is also only cash, so bring cash with you. That's kind of rare in New York for places to be cash only, by the way. All right, now we're walking like in the no man's land. So this would be a great spot, like if you grab a coffee to go and drink it New Yorker style, you know. We like to have coffee in hand or some type of beverage in hand at all time. It's almost like a part of our body, like the beverage as we walk. And whenever I would go to like other countries and I would say, could I have a coffee to go, especially Europe, they're like, what? Like, how dare you? But you know what? That's just our style. So this is the Brooklyn Bridge. And interesting fact about this part of the Brooklyn Bridge is in those doors, those metal doors, it's hard to see, there's actually a secret speakeasy that was used for champagne parties of famous actors or artists back from the 60s to 2001. One of the notable artists that actually threw parties inside of this hidden chamber was Andy Warhol. And it literally looks like an arch, like it has like this arching stone, and it would be super cool to have a party there. But they had to stop in 2001. And I'm wondering, do you know why they stopped? It's because of 9/11, because if someone put something in there, like a bomb, for example, it would be bad because the whole bridge. So they haven't had parties in there since 2001, but it is such an epic spot to have a party. Also, it was super secret. It wasn't like a speakeasy today that you could just go and like just show up and say a password. It was really like a real deal speakeasy. We're walking over to a place that has a lot of graffiti that I love because I want to show you some of the artwork here. Dumbo was originally founded by artists who were living in this area in the 70s and the 80s when it was really disgusting and dangerous to live here. And this area was like where taxis wouldn't even drop you off because it was so sketchy. And so the real heart of Dumbo is like those art galleries. We have a lot of great art galleries here. And something incredible happened in the 90s. There was a major real estate mogul that purchased all of Dumbo at one time. He bought it for $6 a square foot, and now it's worth about $1,100 a square foot. It was the best real estate deal since Peter Manu bought Manhattan in the 1600s, or the 1500s, sorry, my bad. Look at that view of the Manhattan Bridge right there. So today you're seeing a lot of stores pop up. The locations of Etsy are here, so it's very upscale. And just for a one-bedroom apartment, the median price is about $3,900 a month. So it's very pricey. It's actually the second most expensive place to live in New York. And that's mainly because it's such a pretty view of the city. You know, like, that's what you have to pay for. So this is just like the clothing shops and the stores, which are all much more upscale because the consumer that comes here is upscale. But what we're about to pass here is actually probably the most famous street in Dumbo. It's called Washington Street, and at all times there's like 100 people trying to take that perfect Instagram shot. You'll see it. We're gonna stand right in the middle and you're gonna see it. Now, why they haven't blocked this off to traffic yet still blows my mind, but this is a spot. And if you look straight on, you actually see the Empire State Building right through the Manhattan Bridge. It might be hard to see from your camera, but I promise you it's like perfectly centered right there. All right, let's go this way. So if you do want like that iconic shot, but you don't want all the hordes of people, then you kind of have to go early again because it's so crowded. But there's all types of weird things that you see here. Like last time I was here, there was a guy that had, I'm not sure what type of snake. Maybe it was like an anaconda, I don't know. It was like an 8-foot long snake, and he was just having, like, people could pay to wear that with that view. I mean, there you go. There's no, that's a one-time only shot right there. So we have more eateries and like just tons of great spots.
Their own sign makes me think.
It's hot today.
This is one of the roads that leads to the Brooklyn Bridge, so if you are trying to go to the Brooklyn Bridge, you have to go right up here. All right, now here's where we have some cool street art. So let's cross the street, take a look. So this piece is just a rainbow, pretty much. I mean, it's all different colors, great for photos again. And it just provides a little joy, you know, and in a very industrial looking area. This adds some color pop, brings you back to the time when artists lived here. There's an entire website dedicated to street art in Dumbo. I believe it's artindumbo.com, but just type in like street art Dumbo if it's not artindumbo.com and you'll find it there. But they like are in charge of maintaining and like organizing all the different artists that come here and kind of showcasing the work. This one's my favorite that we're about to see right here, around the corner. Because I just like color, you know? Photo shoot. Sorry. Okay. So I like this one because it has elephants and it has the Brooklyn Bridge. And if you recall, I just told you a story about elephants in the Brooklyn Bridge. So now you know why it's like this. But yeah, we have these pretty colorful elephants. Elephants over here. Then we have birds. Yeah, so pretty, right? I love this piece. But there's a lot more, so let's go check out some other ones. Oh, also, one of the things, if you want to get around in the city faster, these Revel bikes right here are super convenient. They, I think it's like $4 to go on it. And you can go all over Brooklyn and Queens. You can't go into Manhattan though. So we can just walk in here because then you can get a closer shot. Mind your feet. But these ones are obviously need to be repainted. It's the same artist that did the ones we just saw, but the ones we just saw were under the bridge, so it's like a little bit more protected. But we have owls now. We have this cool transformer looking guy. I don't know who he is, but see? He has an owl on his head. Huh? Halloween costume ideas? Yes. Looks pretty cool. Now we're gonna go into the forest. There's some sculptures right here. I'm honestly not sure what this sculpture is, but it, to me it kind of looks like a butcher's knife. I mean, what do you think? Comment below. What is your opinion of this piece? Maybe it's also a fish, like there's like, this is the eye of the fish and this is like the body of the fish. You know, I'm not sure. There's this side as well. I have a new piece of graffiti that just went up that I'm going to show you. This one's by Apollo Torres, and this is, I think, I mean, you interpret the graffiti how you want to interpret it, but to me this seems like very Harlem-like because we have jazz right over here and that community and the purple. It's very musical. And I wonder, part of me wonders if he's referencing the fact that right under the bridge over here, it's so loud here. I'll wait till it passes. Very loud, as you can tell. That's because the Manhattan Bridge has a subway line going across it, and I believe this was the first bridge in New York that had a subway line built into it. The Brooklyn Bridge doesn't have a subway line built into it. They do have a bike path, but I heard that they're actually looking to expand it because bikers often can't get through because the amount of tourists, or just not necessarily tourists, just people walking. It's crazy. Again, we have a great view of the Empire State Building right here. So loud. Oh, so what I was gonna say before was on Thursdays they do music under the bridge. There's like this archway that they have live music, and they have like you can sit at like one of the long wooden tables, and they have beer and wine and food. It's fun. It's a great way to spend a Thursday night, and I think they stop running it like once it gets colder. So just check online for details on that. But there's a lot of cool events that happen here because Dumbo's so, I mean, you could say it's up and coming, but I feel like it's already got here, you know, like as you can tell with the crowds, Dumbo is a hot spot right now. And now we're gonna get to our final destination for this walking tour. But you guys, you know I am a certified tour guide, so if you want to do a tour, I have tours on all over the city, all different types of custom tours, and I also offer a few ticketed tours, like my Secrets of New York tour. I will be adding some other new ones too. But this is our final spot. This is the Brooklyn Flea. This is only here on Sundays, okay? So don't be mad at me if you come here, it's not a Sunday, it's not here. But the Brooklyn Flea has tons of really cool stuff in it. We're gonna pop in there for a moment just to see a few things. How's the battery looking on that? Oh, okay, cool. I'll just walk. I don't know why I was gonna walk that way. Look at that Brooklyn Flea. Brooklyn is like very hipster culture, vintage, you know, secondhand, and you can find some really cool stuff at the Brooklyn Flea. It's like the spot to go if you kind of like that. I feel like the word hipster isn't the best word to describe it, but at the same time I'm going to use that word. The hipster, like secondhand vibe. Look at all this stuff. You got clothing, you got interior decor, license plates. I don't know why you would want that, but some people want it. Baseball. I want to see if my favorite stores here. They have really cool jewelry. Last time I was here. I don't know, it's humongous. I'm never gonna find it. But let's end right over here in the sun. Look at these baskets, such cool things. But that's my little mini version of Dumbo tour. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate you coming along with me on this journey, on this beautiful September Sunday afternoon.
And with that everybody, I hope you enjoyed this walk with Sarah as our amazing host. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel, subscribe, and like this video because this was an excellent walk and she revealed so many different secrets and excellent places to visit and do. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Take it easy. Bye-bye.